Okay, right. Let's let's look at our weekly review. See what's going on. Let's start with Bitcoin dominance because I think that is key here. If my screen will change, I think my computer is a little bit slow today. I don't know why. Yeah, maybe memory, low memory. Um, okay, so let's go to weekly chart on the Bitcoin dominance, right? So I drew this line here through the tops of this and that, and we saw that what we saw, obviously, the week is not ended, but we kind of went through it and we've kind of been pushed down. What we really need is Bitcoin dominance to come back down, reverse back down here, and then the altcoins can really, really go crazy, right? Until that happens, the altcoins are going to be very, very, very kind of struggle. They'll struggle to really excel until this thing breaks down. Um, Obviously, today's Sunday. It's possible that by the end of the midnight, we may close somewhere in here and then try to do a retest again. So do a kind of a retest and then fail and then collapse. Let's look at it from, the 4 hours because I like 4 hours because it gives you a quick kind of intelligence, early intelligence of what's going on. So what we've done here on 4 hours, we've moved here. So all through here is one, two, and we've done three levels on the 4 hour chart. And we've got kind of oh, come on, computer. And we've got kind of like a triple red. So big volume sell-off. But again, with these big volume sell-off, we need to see what happens with the next 4 hours because sometimes you can have this, like this one here. You can have a very big sell-off and then quickly reverse back up. Um, I would have been really happy if this had gone above this. So like, we've gone above 59.05 before coming down, then that would have been really good. But we've come down quite a bit, which means the altcoins are pumped, right? We've got some pumping. Got some coins pumping 17%, some pumping 10%, some pumping 5%. So it's giving life to some of their coins, not all of them, but some of them have got life, right? So I think there will be a push back up first. And if I go back to like 15 minutes, you can see on the 15-minute chart, we can see is, that this is the whole fall, right? This is one drop. That's two and that's three. And now you've got kind of like a bottom there and a bottom here. We don't have a divergence yet. So which means potentially there's more downside. So, dominance could go down a bit more, until you get some proper divergence, some 15 minutes. Normally you want something like that where you bottom out, go down, and then continue going. So I think but this definitely goes down some more because we don't really have a proper divergence here. On the 1 hour chart, this is like a stopping candle, but it's weak. So even at best, it probably goes back to about somewhere here, 5845, and then continues going down. So it's it's looking good. It's looking good on the 4 hour chart for dominance to continue to fall after some kind of bounce, mini bounce, right? So after a mini bounce, so if we get a lower high somewhere there and then it continues to fall, that would be fantastic. So that's what I'm looking for at the moment. So we just have to keep watch on the dominance. The dominance needs to break down before we can really, really excel. And it's very possible it has to come basically below this point. That's the target. It needs to go below this point because what we did was we did one level drop, two and three level drops, and we've had our three level rises, right? One, two, three. So now it's time for a collapse, right? But all depends on the daily chart and the weekly chart. what happens on the daily chart and the weekly chart really will decide. We just getting an early intel from like the 4 hour chart. I would probably draw my area of interest on this one. Well, we listed that candle as well. It's been listed. So there's no real, let me see, where will be the area of interest on this one? Yeah, it'll be somewhere here. Because this one is a low of 5456 and this one is 5469. So that candle needs to be exceeded. This candle here is, I think, is a red candle. Yeah, so that will likely need to be exceeded, this one. So this area could be a very good area of interest. This small area here, because we didn't actually touch it, will be an area of interest for dominance to come in and tag. And I'll probably increase it a little bit to maybe just the top here, somewhere there. So dominance needs to fall before we can execute, kind of get really moving, right? So we'll be watching that. If midnight closes and this is triple red, that will be fantastic like this. If it turns out to be like this, then of course, Monday we will probably get a bounce like we had here, get a bounce, push up, and then continue our journey down. So that's what I'm looking for on dominance, to break down properly so the altcoins can run. Let's then go to Bitcoin and look at what Bitcoin is doing. So Bitcoin on this, let me use Binance perpetual chart. So with this one, last week we drew a box for our area of interest and it came right into it. I think, yeah, we hit it, but came right into the area of interest and off it went. The I think looking at the daily chart, there's a bit of a concern for me, and that is, I guess, the volume. So the volume has been, so we had a big volume here, we have smaller volume, a smaller volume. It's like the volumes are not increasing, and that's a bit of a worry, a bit of a concern for me at the moment. If I look at the weekly chart presents a very strong candle, good volume, but with all these sort of candles, normally, when they form, you get good 50% of the candle at least. So this was our area of interest last week, on the daily chart. So I can delete that because that's been fulfilled, and delete that from there because we've done that. Area of interest for me would be about 50% of this candle, wherever it closes. If we assume that uh, the candle is from here all the way to, even let's use the full candle. Let's just go on the full basis of the candle. Then, somewhere there. So if we put the box here, somewhere there, okay, let's move it slightly up. So we can put our area of interest somewhere here. This box, this area, maybe there. Yeah, so that's something. That's the area of interest for me on Bitcoin. We will pull back. We need to do a bit of a pullback. When you get these big candles, there's always a good pullback, before the move. Like, for example, this one here, and then you get this candle, you have a pullback, then off you go. So if the move is supposed to continue, then yeah, we're supposed to see some. I can get rid of this line to make the chart a bit clean. Get rid of these lines because now we use the area of interest box, which is now more better. So I can see that happening. And I think, this 50-day moving average will keep going up. And, it's like it will meet this bottom here. And then, you do have it coming into this box, somewhere in this box. Let's move the box a bit closer to the candle. Yeah, somewhere there, it comes in there. And then we get support and then off we go. to higher levels, which I think this is what I'm expecting to see because this is a very strong candle. Unless within the next, what, 6 hours or whatever, all this is erased, which in crypto, anything can happen. So, but if anything changes tomorrow morning, then I'll give you guys an update. But as it stands now and looking at the 4 hour chart, there is a bit of a pullback that needs to happen. There's a bit of a pullback, which, okay, you see where the area of interest has been drawn, which kind of comes back into, so that comes back into your here 100K. So I probably need to move this box up a bit. Let's move the box up a bit. So I think, yeah, so here, let's move it here. Because the 4 hour is very good. So I wouldn't expect it to go any more lower than that. If it goes lower than that, then it means the pullback means the fall is going to be big, which means we're coming all the way back to this point here. This area of interest will be that 90K becomes a reality in terms of, if we fall below this 50-day moving average on the 4 hours, then we're coming all the way down here. So at the moment, MACD is going down. So, MACD is going down, and we haven't formed any green candles yet, green MACD histograms yet. So this definitely comes all the way here. We might get a bit of a bounce and continues this journey down there. We get proper bounce and we go. Um, you know, I think it comes all the way down to somewhere here. Um, that will give us some good three drops, and then it can go again. So Bitcoin, that's what we've seen on Bitcoin, a bit of a pullback on Bitcoin before we kind of head off, but it doesn't mean it's the end of the move. There's more upside. And the reason why I say there's more upside, we have, if we look at it from a 4 hour chart perspective, then okay, you've gone high there, you've gone high here, here, this, let me just make this bigger for you. So you see, this is higher than that. You want to see this being lower and price being higher, and we haven't got that yet. So there's more upside. There's definitely more upside. It's not the end of the move. There's going to be three more upside, three push-ups to the upside. So something like this. If I measure from here, right? So from here, so if we do from here and we go all the way to the top here, how much was it? 19%. So let's pack a 19% on top of this. And where does it take us? 19%, 19, 20%, 19%. Yeah, it's about 120. So 120, 121, 90, yeah, 125K, somewhere there is where I'll draw another interest box just for us. Let me draw another interest box here. And we will be going somewhere there. Somewhere here is where we expect us to land. So that's where Bitcoin is going. When it gets there, I would take a short. But we'll have to get there to see where it looks like if I have come out of my trades, of course. So that's Bitcoin. In summary, we expect a pullback, then continuation. If we break the 50-day moving average or the 200 moving average on 4 hours, this one, if it's broken, the 200 EMA, then there will be more downside, which means we'll be coming back down to the 80K, 85K zone. Because, if I'm being critical of this, of this 4 hour setup, right? Then, we're counting and we say, okay, all this here is one drop, right? Okay. This is very close to this. It's a bit too close to, like if I'm counting it, it's very, very close. Let's call it the two. And then this is a clear downside. This is clear that this is a level. So if you're being critical, it's okay, it's one and it's two, then there's a three, right? And falling to somewhere here, it's a three. That makes it more realistic that you got your three clear level drops. And I'll kind of bring a similar example that we had here. So you can see here when we fell to this 50K drop, right? Let's make this bigger and then we all can see. So, from here to here is one drop, right? And then you go boom, 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 two. And then you had your three. This here is three, right? But then you went slightly lower again first before going higher. So there's a part of me that says, there is this big, big, big volume selling which hasn't come back into the market. So if we go back to our current setup, you know, we only got a very small volume selling here. The big, big volume like what we saw here. Look at that. Look at those sort of level of the volume. Look at where they are. And then look at the one from here. It's very tiny. You can't even see it. So, there's that we have to be skeptical about it. And, but for now, I'm bullish on the basis that Bitcoin comes back into this box, gets support and go up. And when we finish this, I might go to the liquidity. Let me see if I can share another screen and go. How do we share more screens actually? We'll do it. I'll do it afterwards. Afterwards. There's more to look at, so let's move on. Then let's look at some of the coins that we are trading. Let's start with UMA. So let's go to UMA BTC chart. So these coins have had a bit of a pump against Bitcoin because of the drop in this dominance. So dominance is falling, and whilst dominance is rising, it just falls. Now dominance falls, it goes up, and consequently, you get a pump, right? So the Bitcoin pair is very, very important. So we do have a divergence here on 4 hours. We've gone lower, RSI is still higher, and price is lower. So this is a good divergence on 4 hours. It started from here. We went down one here, RSI higher, two, RSI higher. Maybe there's a third one left. So, you know, it could reverse back down again before we go. If we go to the weekly chart, and have a look at the weekly chart. Yeah, so it depends on how this week ends. If we close the week like this, if midnight is closed like as it is now, then I would say, it's looking very good. And yes, we're going to go some boom, 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 go up after maybe a small pullback into the wick of this candle somewhere. Then we'll be going bonkers, going really, really high. But depends on how this closes. On the 4 hour chart, it's looking good from a divergence. We've got a good divergence there. But with Bitcoin going to fall, do a pullback, regardless of it being strong, they will all pull back. The intensity of it is not going to be the same. But I think there's a pullback in. So if we take a look at the actual USD chart, and I like this one, I like the Coinbase one. Yeah. So you can see we've had this candle here is probably a liquidation event. So this is shorts being liquidated because, probably a lot of people open shorts. So, they push the price, from what, 253 to 280, 30 points, and kill a few shorts, and then continue the journey to come down because we didn't exceed this. See, if had exceeded this candle, I would have been really, really, really bullish. But like this, if it was like this, that would have been really good, but it's not. So the daily and the weekly will have to give us that. If the daily gives us that, so the daily, if the day ends like this, then that's it. We'll be going higher and higher. If the day doesn't close like this and it closes red, then more downside. So I think it depends on how the week closes, based on the fact that Bitcoin is going to fall a little bit, I probably would say maybe this area of interest, we should move this area of interest box to here, to here. Yeah, so yeah, 243. Let's even get it slightly up, to somewhere there. So that would be my area of interest for UMA, is it'll fall back into this box. And if it gets support here around the 230 or between 247 and I'll put it half of this, 247 and 230. If we get support there, then yes, that's the end of it, and we're going very, very high. So, but we've only just come below here, below zero, and MACD is still red. So if the day closes and MACD is red, then it's not ready yet. So there will be some more downside. I'm trying to find an example like here. So here, this is probably something similar like this. It's not the same. Okay, with this one is a good one. Yeah, here we go. That's a good one. So you get a very bullish candle like this, and then you come into it, and then you go. That's something, it's a similar setup like this one, is what I'm expecting. But I do expect us to come back into at least the wick of the candle. So that's UMA. Let's move on to tier. Tier on the tier BTC chart, weekly chart is looking really, it doesn't look good at all. I mean, it's like, give this coin a break. Give it a break, We got trades to cash in. Um, okay, so here you go. Like, okay,
Oh,
we've got
hmm.
we've got we've got our kind of bottom on RSI here. And since that bottom, we've gone down one. RSI is higher. We've gone down again. The RSI is still higher, if I'm right. Let's just measure it. So what's the RSI here? That's 37.57, and RSI is currently sitting at 37.68. So if it stays there and this changes to green, that would be really, really good. That would mean that, we're going somewhere on tier. Against Bitcoin, we'll be going much, much, much bigger. Let's go to 4 hours and see the picture, because 4 hours is very good to kind of try and look ahead to see what's going on. So we've had a bullish candle on 4 hours, which is beautiful, but it's not a divergence. I would have loved it to be a divergence, like this going down and, because currently, but there is a divergence actually. There is one. So if we compare this bottom here and RSI here and we compare it to this side, then there is a divergence on RSI on 4 hours. With these big candles, when they fall, the next 4 hour candle is very important. If the next 4 hour candle is red, then that's not good. It's going to be a lot of it will be erased. Um, so it depends on how it closes on this one. I think this is a liquidation event again. They are liquidating shorts, very similar to that one, and then you go back down first before you go. So even anything, you get 50% withdrawal on the candle at the very least, before any proper move goes up. Let's look at it from a weekly chart perspective. We've already done the weekly chart. Yeah. So I think it depends on the 4 hour, this candle, but everything tells me at the very least, you're going to get 50% withdrawal on this candle. In the next couple of hours coming, you're going to get that. Um, and it's not a diverge. It's not that. I mean, it's a good divergence between this and this, but it would have been nice if it was like this one, like this one here, like where it goes lower, this goes lower than that, or double bottom type scenario. Um, but it's still a divergence. We have to keep our spirits up. It's a divergence on this BTC chart. So long as we get the next follow through candle, then that'll be good. If we don't get a follow through candle, we get a red candle, then that's going to be bad. Let's look at 15 minutes. 15 minutes might give us an indication, an early indication. Are we going to get it? Okay, so we've come here and been rejected of the 200 EMA. We've tried again, been rejected, and we've come back and tried again, touched the KC channel and are being rejected. I think it comes back down. At the very least, it comes down back down to this point. So it comes back down into here, somewhere here. Let's draw the area of interest. It comes down to this area. I'll extend a little bit. It comes down to that area before we go anywhere. So that'll be tier on the tier BTC chart, which means although tier has done a lot of good work on the normal chart, it's going to roll back down to back to that box. So if we again, it will be coming into at the very least into this box here. It will come back down into this box before we get a proper move to the upside. You know, somewhere back to about 459, maybe 463 to about, yeah. Let's put it at the bottom here. Yes, I'm bottom there. So it will come back to that place before on the 15 minutes chart. Let me go to weekly because we haven't looked at weekly on this chart yet. So let's get rid of this box because this box we drew, the price came into it. It's come into the box. We drew it last week. It's come clear in the box. So let's just delete that. That's no longer functionable. On the weekly chart, this candle has been exceeded by this candle, which is good. So we've exceeded that candle and we seem to have a divergence in play. So this is the low. This is the low. We've gone lower than this. Price RSI higher, lower again, RSI higher, lower again, RSI higher. So it's very good. There's a multiple divergences on the weekly chart. You know, when I think it was Friday, this was looking green. This candle was green and it looked really, really good. And I was like, okay, we had gone all the way to the top here, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's going to go all the way up here and close up here, then engulf this candle, then that would have been the end of it. And in just a few hours or a day, it's just been reversed back down. So there are a few warning shots on this chart, which is that MACD is coming down. Now, MACD coming down below, it's not below zero yet, but it's coming down. It's not, sometimes it can change and then you have a green and then it continues going up. We really need that to be the case, which is don't go down. Because if it goes below zero, then it means there'll be more falling. More likely you're going to get, I mean, we don't have the full MACD on the weekly, but normally if you go below zero, then there'll be a bit more falling to come. So you can see where the area of interest has been drawn. You know, I think that probably becomes 4 hours. Let's look at what did I say on 4 hours? This is an old box, right? That's an old box. Yeah, that's an old box. I don't think this is going to all be erased. I don't think we will erase everything and come all the way down here. I think that's a little bit too rich. I would expect that this box is too much here. So let's move this box to a place that is more likely to happen, which is here, this bottom here. So we move this box to here. Yeah, there. Because I don't think tier goes below $4. I don't think it's going to happen. I'll be very surprised if it does. But so that'll be the box that I think it will fall in. With a fall, I think it will come back into here. You know, that gives us a good sling off to kind of go. But you know, it won't come into this box if the next candle is also green. If the next 4 hour candle is green and is green like this, then no, we won't be coming back into this box. It will be like a lower high. This becomes your lower high to this, and off you go. You're not coming down anymore. So I think it comes down to how it closed the next four-hour candle. Um, it looks positive that even if we come down, then it's going to be just, a little bit of a, here somewhere 448 into this box, something like that. Um, I will go on a limp and put this, actually move this based on this. Yeah, here. Something like that. Yeah. So it's here. We need to break this 200 moving average. If we break it, then that's positive. If we break this, but we've been rejected once, been rejected twice, and this is probably the third attempt. So third time lucky, third time a charm. People say stuff like that. So let's see, third time charm. If it breaks and confirms above this, then we're not coming back down anymore. We won't be coming down towards these levels anymore. So it all depends on what happens in the next hour to 4 hours. 8 o'clock will give us more indication. Okay, so that's tier. Let's move on to MOODENG because that's a coin that we trade. So MOODENG on the weekly chart, it's another one that's been battered and beaten a lot. Goodness me. Wow.
Flabbergasted, man.
It's been beaten up a lot. Goodness, it's too much. I mean, anyway, so if we close like this week, then it will likely come down. I mean, it's hit the zone. Like I think we drew a box, didn't we, last week? Oh, we didn't. Yeah, it's hit it. Like the bottoms is being hit. So let's see. Yeah, it touched it. Yeah, it touched the bottoms. So the only area of interest left now is just this wick. That's it. That's the only area. So if it closes like this, it comes into this box and off we go. Daily chart, um, we have a divergence. So we do from here to there. There's a divergence on the daily chart. Let's look at MACD. MACD wants to tick above zero. So yeah, I think if this doesn't close green, then we'll come into this box and then off will be gone. So it's looking good. It's done the bleeding. The bleeding has happened, and it just needs a bullish candle to kind of finish it off, and then off we go. If I go to 4 hours, I can see that already happening on 4 hours. So, we've got this big sell-off. Normally, with these big sell-offs, you get a reverse before you come back. There's always a reverse on these candles because it's such a big selling event. Liquidation, longs are being liquidated. And as they are being liquidated, they are buying, right? So they are buying. And when you're buying, you push price to the other side. So this is a liquidation event for the people who were long and didn't have enough margin to cover their positions. Um, so I think it will come down below it and it will come down into that box somewhere, maybe towards maybe 14, 14.5, 14, somewhere there, and then off we go because there's a divergence in play. The divergences are all in play from here. So that's divergence one, that's divergence two, and then you're gonna get three. So yeah, it's there or thereabouts, almost ready. 15 minutes. So we go to 15 minutes, we get an early inkling. So we've closed above this, and this is like a retest. It's held. Let's see what the next candle looks like. Um, if this candle also holds and becomes green, then of course you go up and you won't be coming down anymore. So it depends on how this candle closes. Um, on the 4 hour chart, I like to use I like to use these red candles to help me to know. So that's one of my tips. Like you got one there. That's a red candle. Red candle. Whenever you get these two in a row, you should be looking. If you're trading fast trading, then you need to be getting off the trade. So, something like that, I would have put my exit here and waited for it. and it will come and get it for you, and then it will take you down. So, and then at the same time, open a short. So that's kind of fast trading. That'll be fast trading when we get off our trades. We'll be doing a lot of fast trading like that. But that would be like almost we would have been in this trade since somewhere here, 13th of June, January, and we would have closed it on 18th of January. So about 5 days trade, a week's trade. You take your money, you go away, and then you open a short, and then this we wouldn't be closing it on this. We'll be waiting for the reverse back into the box to then close the trade. So in a very similar way that you've got here, you didn't close the trade because it came down quite a bit, right? But you close it at the top. That's exactly the reverse here. So this will go up a bit, and it will come back down into the box. So if you wanted to buy, like, there's no need to rush. This is what I'm finding with these markets. There's no need to rush your buys. Price will move away and you think, oh, it's gonna go, it's gonna go. And that's what the market maker does. He plays on these emotions that we've got, and then we end up buying, and then it comes back down and it brings it back down, and you're like, oh no, it's gonna go down. Well, let me sell my position, keep my money. Oh, then as soon as you sell, it goes boom, back up again. So that's what they do. They confuse the hell out of everybody. So Moondig, a little bit falling, not much, right? Not much. Chill guy on the weekly chart. Again, it's another one that's been bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. It's like some of these meme coins, when they fall out of favor, it's really bad. Um, it's just pretty bad. I wasn't expecting us to go below this candle. But here we are. Uh, so let's go and look at 4 hours, because if we close like this, we'll go lower again. So let's look at 4 hours to give us an indication of what is likely to happen. Are we going to reverse or not? So we do have a divergence starting to play out from here. Divergence one, we've got divergence two here. So it's looking good, but I think it will come back in. It will come back in again. It will come back in at least to exceed this candle. This candle will come back in to exceed this candle before we actually properly get going. Very similar to this one here, very similar to this one here. You go down first, then you go. If you just bounce off, it's not looking good. You tend to come back into it. Um, Now, sometimes, because obviously we got a divergence, to where you can just keep going up and up and up. So, I definitely would be buying this. If I was looking for a buy, then I'll buy this 5%. And then when it comes below, I'll buy my next 5%. So I wouldn't say, because it's more, this is a probability game, 90, 80, 20 chance, and by the way, if it comes to '07 and you bought at '08, 5%, you buy another 5% at '07, your average is pretty good. So, and you don't have much risk. So, but yeah, I think this goes down one more time, then that probably will be the end of it. So weekly we close red, we go down slightly, then off we go. That's what I see on Chill Guy. Let's look at ETH BTC, because obviously ETH gives an indication of what's going to happen on the altcoins. Last week the box we drew has been hit, so it came way past the box. Um, Now this is not looking good. I mean, this is not looking good. If we close like this, it still will have to test 50% of this wick if we close like this. So we're talking, there's divergences there. I mean, there's divergences here, all the way from here. That's the bottom. We've gone lower RSI higher, lower RSI higher, then we've gone bumps. So we did this, we did 1, 2, and 3 off. Okay, now we've come back in again here, and that's also lower. RSI still higher. So I think, all things being equal, ETH BTC will, let's change this box of interest. Let's make it smaller. And let's move it into here. I'll move it here. If it maintains this box, then we'll be going. That's it. That'll be it. And all the altcoins and ETH and everything will be going up, which I think it will. On probability wise, I think it does. And actually, the daily chart is giving us a very strong bullish candle. So if the day closes like this, then you'll be looking at something similar like this, right? Similar like this. So we close really bullish, we come down slightly, and then off we go. So my area of interest, actually looking at it on the daily chart, needs to come back down a bit. It's not down enough. It needs to come back down at least 50% of the candle to somewhere there. Yeah. So if 12 o'clock it BTC is like this, then yes, I think that'll be the end of it with a small pullback. A small pullback on Monday, which is a bit bizarre. Donald Trump's inauguration on Monday, we have a pullback. That's rubbish, man. Um, anyway, but maybe pull back to then go crazy. So that's it. BTC is looking good. It's looking promising so far. So that's, I think, all the coins. Let's look at render. Dot. Actually, let's quickly look at dots before. So dot, one drop there, two drop here. This is 604, and this is 599. So we have three. So we do have three now. Um, This line is being defended on the daily chart, so very good. If we close with the defense in place, then dot probably is finished falling. We won't come back into this box anymore. Let's look at the weekly chart. Yeah, it's very similar. It depends on what happens to this candle on the weekly chart. If it closes like this, it looks good, but MACD is still red. I will not be too comfortable with it. I think, yeah, if it closes red, then it will come down some more. If it closes red, it will come down some more. It's not falling enough. This is it. Dot hasn't fallen enough, really. It's not falling enough. So if it closes above this 50-day moving average, then I'm sure there will be a retest. And if there's the retest holds, then it will go up. If it fails, then the box stays. It comes in the box. So it depends on how the daily and the weekly close on this one. But if I were to put my eggs in a basket, I would say it actually goes down, comes down, because we haven't really got. It's like 604, 599. It's not enough of a drop. Normally you want like this one. Look at this, 754 to $6. Yes, that's one level, that's two level. This is not enough. So I think there's probably one slight swipe, big swipe down to give you the three into somewhere here. Maybe the box needs to be extended a bit to the base here. Yeah. It's into this box, yes. Then you have a lower high. So that if you draw it, then you say, okay, we've come down here, we've gone up there, we come into this box, lower high, and then off you go, something like that, you know. But yeah, so I'll probably put my money in the box, coming in the box rather than continuing to go. It's how I see it. But I'll probably give an update on Monday when I get up on most of the coins that we trade. Render. Quickly look at render. So render is coming to the box that we drew last week. It's come into the box and then bounced off, but not as strong. Let me go use this one. This one is actually better. So again, MACD is coming down. It's another one of those where MACD is coming down. I would say render goes down. This needs to exceed this candle first because you have one, you have two. So this needs to be exceeded, and then we go. At the moment, we're hanging in between. And I think if I look at 4 hours, 4 hours is probably giving it away. Whenever you form these candles, you go below it. So whenever this candle forms, you go up, but you go below it. Typical example here. Yeah. So you go up, but you go below it. Then you have your move, right? So I think, yeah, I think if render comes a bit more down and it probably comes back into to test these bottoms or slightly lower. So yeah, if I was to put my money on it, I would say down as opposed to continue to go up. Is where I'll put my money on render. Pepe, let's look at Solana. Solana is obviously got a hype behind it. Trump's coin is pumping it as well because the people who buy the Trump coin use their Solana and then they convert their money back to Solana and Solana pumps. See how this thing work? So Solana, yeah, Solana is going to come down. It will come down based on this 4 hour setup. So if we look at it from the levels that we've got on the RSIs and see what's up. So we've gone up there. That's the peak of RSI. We've gone, this is higher, RSI lower. We go again, higher, RSI lower, higher, RSI lower. And now we got a red candle. Now that's it. Solana's move is finished. It's going to come down. It's going to come down probably back to like, the 200 moving average, 223. 223, somewhere there, is where it's going to come back to. But I think it falls even lower than that. I think it will come back into this box. It will come back into the box, way back into the box here. So it looks like all the coins are saying to me, each one I look at, more falling. Um, if we go and look at SUI, so SUI on 4 hours, let's have a look. So SUI is done the kind of level one drop there. It's done level two and it's just bounced off. I think SUI also comes down. It's looking, so let's draw our interest box here. So it falls back into this box somewhere there. It falls back in. I mean, it's probably even going to be lower because if this is one and this is two, then the three has to be lower than that. So, but because it's a strong coin and there's a lot of hype, sometimes it won't go as low. So, I'll put it there. If you look at the weekly chart, we've got a stopping candle there. We have a stopping candle here. And normally with these candles, you see how it plays out. It bounces up. So you bounce up. We've done the bounce up. Um, so, and here we bounced up. And I think the next level will be coming back into here. So this thing's going to move up anyway. So, maybe to somewhere here, 375. Um, but if the week closes as it is now, then at the very least, you would test 50% of the wick, which is 446. So regardless of whichever way you look at it, there's a pullback on it as well. AAVE is also run quite nicely. So it came into our box that we drew last week. These pink candles always get exceeded. So, we've exceeded that pink candle, come to the box, strong bullish candle. So long as we close the week like this, then it's just a retest, really. We just need a retest of it. So the retest will be here out. Let's put it there to here. We will retest this and then we'll be off. We'll be off on this one looks strong. Although it's not falling much, it looks stronger to me on the chart. So if we close like this, then yes, small pullback in and off we go. So that's AAVE. I think that's all the coins we've got. GOAT, we haven't looked at GOAT. Let's look at GOAT. GOAT also came into our box, our area of interest box. It came there. I think if we close like this, GOAT has got more falling on the cards. It's just the way it is. So 4 hours, if I go and look at my 4 hour chart and look at this, so this area of interest can be moved down. We're going down below here. We don't need much at all. Don't need to look at this candle will be exceeded. It's just the way it is. And then, of course, you can go up. So we come back into this box, then you go up, right? So that's what I'm expecting to see on the divergences are playing, they are doing their job. There's one there, there's one here, there's one here. So it's good, but there's a pullback in to this candle is a pullback candle. It comes when it comes, you can always take a long position. You take a long position, you're going to make some money. It will bounce a little bit, but afterwards it pulls back in. So that's what we see on gold. Which other one is missing that we want? Trump. Trump, I think let's see whether Trump is ready for a short. I think I've been saying it's not ready yet. Let's go to 1 hour and look at this. So we've hit a high there. No, it's not ready for a short. No, I won't short this now. It's not ready yet. Um, here you could have taken a short here. So with these candles, right? When they come, this thing is going to come all the way down here. Whoa, there. It's going to come back to $33. With these candles, when you see them and you don't get another one, it's as good as gold to take a short. Like, so after this, you wait for this to conclude, and you take a short at the top of it. Even if 5% where it closes, take another short 5%. If it goes higher, take 5%. That's 10% of your allocation, and you do really well. So you would have been an average of about 70, and this thing you close it on the 7. So you close it on the 9-day moving average. So you would have closed around like 60, which is not bad. It's a short trade. It will go, I think it goes up higher again first. It goes up higher again. So it's not finished. It's not finished. It will go up higher first. Because it needs to clear these tops. It needs to clear these tops, and then we get some stopping candle. But this candle will be exceeded. That candle here, which is sitting at what, $34 will be exceeded. So that's the area that is going to be attracting to. So if I was taking a short on the next rise, I would be expecting that it comes back here, or it can come back here actually even before we go up. So if I was in a short, then I would just put a stop loss on it. If it comes, I'll protect some profit, and then if it knocks the stop loss, fine, I lose nothing. But if it plays out and it keeps coming into this area, that's a beautiful trade. So Trump is not ready. I think that's about it. We've done Rendia, we've done Solana, we've done TIA, we've done UMA. Let's touch briefly quickly on the Dixie, right? Because the Dixie is important in terms of risk assets going up. So let's quickly. So me and my brother did some market analysis last week, and next week we're expecting the Dixie to go up. So I'm expecting it to go towards somewhere around 1096. My brother is expecting it to hit these tops, which is around 1093. So it goes up, it's going to go up, which means it's topping out. The Dixie is topping out, which means risk assets are going to go higher. But it's like when you're trying to kill a cat, it doesn't go down easy. It fights until it's fully gone. And it's fighting at the moment. So if I go 4 hours, and I pick this on 4 hours because these days I like to go and pick it quickly. And I think last week I told my brother this thing was gonna fall. Last week I called it. I said it's gonna fall, and it did a beautiful falling. So it comes in and then it loops back to the scene of the crime. So somehow it will touch the scene of the crime somewhere, and it could be here. It could be the tops here, but it will come back a little bit more. So whilst he's doing that, all the risk assets are going to go down. Um, you know, it's just the way it is. It's like, when the dollar bounces, the risk assets go down. They're not able to climb. If you look at this from Monday, right? Monday all the way to like till Wednesday, and we go and look at Bitcoin, right? So, and look at Monday. Look at it. Monday all the way through to Friday is rising, right? Because all through that time, what was happening to the dollar? The dollar was going down, down, down. See what I mean? So, you know, the dollar goes up, they all come down, including the Nasdaq as well. I've been trading the Nasdaq, and so they are quite correlated in that sense. So I think because this goes up, again, that reinforces the fact that, you know, into tomorrow, these things will all come down first. And then this guy finishes what he's doing, and then, it collapses, and then they can really, really run. Because when this collapses, it's coming all the way back down to like below here. So that's going to be a big, big, big fall on the dollar, which means the risk assets will run big time, big time. So there's good things ahead. It's just maybe one more week of frustration, I'll call it. Um, we've done Bitcoin dominance already, so I don't need to touch on that. And I think we've touched on all the coins we trade. So anything else before I stop the recording? If you want to have a chat, anything else before for us to cover on the call, on the recording call? No. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just put this